Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hockey Night at Pisa here, presented by Memory to Video Productions. We are live streaming today a special matinee edition at the Plainville Sports Arena. It's the F-Deck Division matchup between the Skateless Allies, who are undefeated 7-0, and we have the third place Agent Orange, who is 4-2 going into this game. All of today's action is brought to you by Wood Apparel, leading provider of team uniforms and variety of sports. Check out woodapparel.com for more information. I'm Justin Quett. I'll be calling all of your today's action. So to start, I think we should talk about goaltending. We're going to start at the Agent Orange side. Jeff Camputaro. Jeff Camputaro plays for many different teams, a bunch of different levels. He's really the veteran goaltender here. He has the highest save percentage on his team, barring how many games he has, at 92.85. So really, he's going to be their anchor behind. In contrast, we have Mike Miskalko on the Skateless Allies. Miskalko filling in for Casey Mumblow, usually only for a couple games. This season is actually going to be his 5th game of the season. So he is technically going to be the starting goalie for the Skateless Allies in the roster-wise. He is in the 80s in the save percentage. He's quite different style as Jeff. Jeff plays more of an ice hockey game from ice hockey now, as you see in the NHL. Mike plays more of a 1980s style goaltending game, a lot more sprawling, a lot more big desperation saves you'll see out of Mike. So we're gonna have a good matchup today. We'll be back soon to talk about face-offs. All right, players here are starting to take this side, and it looks like we're gonna have Santos on the Agent Orange take the face-off against Brian Watrous. We actually have a heavy line starting out for the Skateless Allies. Brian Watrous with the wingers being Frankie Chiotti and Anjanette Delgado. On defense, we have for Agent Orange, Yader and Winarski, opposite side of Mark Schumann and Dan Sigelski. It's gonna be a hard matchup, especially for Agent Orange, who has one sub. So we have Kenny Herron walking over, does not get it over to Santos. We have a small battle right here in the neutral zone. Frankie wins that battle. He makes a quick move to center, falls and gets a weak shot off, or Jeff quickly knocks it off to the side. Ball now right into the slot for Brian Watrous, where he loves to be. He takes a shot. Nothing comes out. He gets the pass again. This is what the Allies want to do here. The Allies want to just take control and pass around, force Agent Orange to run, and they are. Santos gets the ball with Frankie right on his heels. Frankie, really the legs of the team, does not be able to control it, where Kenny Herron knocks it aside. Right here we have Dan Sigelski looking for Rieger, finds Anjanette Delgado. Delgado having trouble putting the ball out. We'll give it to Danny instead. Danny gives it to Mark. Mark can't handle the ball, and it's really makes it difficult. But Frankie now somehow gets that ball, walks in through the middle. They're really letting Frankie have wherever he wants to be. Short shifts. We already see them changing lines for Skateless Allies. Going deep here. We have Mark looking. Mark's gonna run it up. Has no real pass, so he'll chip it deep. It goes harmlessly, no icing here. Delgado's chasing him into the corner. Delgado forces a panic shot where Dan Sigelski is able to eat that back up, put it in. Delgado gets a chance to make another play. Joey Delgado takes his pass, deflects it in front where it's eaten up by Winarski. He kicks it over to Kenny Herron. Kenny Herron now passes it, gets deflected, but it makes it to Ricky Clemente. Ricky flips it into Kenny Herron. Kenny Herron has a shot here. He's trying to pull up. He cannot get enough control on to take the shot, where it goes back in. Line change now. Looks like they're keeping the center short and they're keeping the wings a little longer. Mike kicks that out. Lets Jim Benning try to make a play on it. Jim Benning controls it. Kicks it over to Josh Borelli. Josh Borelli, a goalie in many other divisions, including a semi-pro roller hockey league. Playing here, he's having fun, really looking to quarterback the team. Where he finds Joey Delgado. Joey Delgado kicks it over to Tony Miskalko, brother of the goalie, Mike Miskalko. Mike battles through, gets it to Joey. Joey fumbles his way over to get it to Jim Benning. Jim Benning takes a shot, cannot grab it. The rebounds keep coming. Lisa Brophy now running hard. Josh Borelli takes a swing, misses. Mike Moranis is taking a chip at it. It goes onside. Tony will now make the play. Gives it over to Joey. Joey looking for Josh, saying no. We'll give it to him anyway. Santos deflects it out with his hand. Now the hand pass is waved off. Jim Benning kind of panicking with it. Tips it over to Mike. Mike takes a shot on Mascalco. Mascalco kicks it over. Borelli pick it up in the corner. Jim Benning really trying to slow the game down. Chips it over to Joey. A little too far, but Joey chases it down anyway. Can't keep a handle on it. That first line really had good possession. This line can't seem to keep it together. Jim Benning will walk it in by himself, get a good shot, blocker save. Just rolls by. Shuna comes in attacking. Mark Schumann comes in attacking Joey Delgado. Looks like he's going to slow it down, let his wingers come back, and let his other D change. Weird pass through the middle where Kenny Herron eats that up, gives it to Mike. Mike chips it in the corner for Dan Stigelski to go run and catch. Dan looking at his options while Joey Delgado changes for Watrous. Gives it over to Mike. Mike's really eating up these passes and reading them. Mike tries to cover it, was told to give it up instead. He will. Mark looking at him, excuse me. He tries to float it through. It gets knocked down where Kenny really protects the ball. Instead of getting a hand pass, protects Tony from getting the ball. Yoder takes a shot. Big save by Mike Mascalco. Mike Mascalco gives it to Dan. Dan gives it to Brian, who runs out of room, but gets to Frankie. Frankie pulls up. Here's Brian. Tries to force his way through anyway. Now Kenny Herron's picking it up. Offside, all players have to tag up, and they will. And now long shot goes into the corner, harmless shot there. It doesn't look like Santos got all of it. He's going to want that shot back. Danny throwing his head up thinking Brian was going to curl. Brian did not curl. So we're going to have to start again from scratch. It looks like Agent Orange is really using a dump and chase mentality, which is the correct idea when you have this amount of subs being one. Having this little break in time, let the team with the players do all the running, and you just protect back. Jeff eats up that ball and glove save. So Brian Watrous talking to Danny, not happy with that line, talking about he has to keep possession. Our referees say Ray Gulicki and John DeLuca. So we're going to start face-off down deep, and it rolls over to Yoder. Yoder chips it away. Looks like an easy one from Mark Schumann to eat, and he does not get anyway. Ricky Clemente running through. He's curling in. Skateless Allies gave him all the room in the world to take a shot, and they do, or Mike Mascalco eats that up. And Jeanette forces that over to Watrous, who cannot keep control of it. Once again, back to Ricky. Tries to do the same thing again. Mark says no way and deflects it out of him. Yoder takes a shot just wide. Looks like he saw that far side opening, and he will try to eat it. So I have Anjanette. Gives it over to Frankie. Frankie looks like doing too much when he ends up somehow finding a way to get it to the net. Chips it around. Joey Delgado here. Joey looking for his options. Settles the ball down, gives it to Anjanette. Anjanette just wide, just misses that inside post. This is where they're shining again, is with this possession. More and more possession coming here. They give it to Josh Borelli. He takes a quick shot. It hits Yoder, and Yoder will give it back to Borelli instead of dumping it deep. Borelli and Joey playing catch with each other today. Doesn't get all that. Gets to Dan Stigelski. He gets all that. Just wide. Frankie does not get all of it. Goes into the net. He tries to stuff it through Jeff Campertaro's foot. Jeff Campertaro's foot does not have a hole in it. Frankie, still given all the time, finds a hole, but Mike ends up eating that up and forcing Joey to set it up, giving it to Anjanette. Anjanette now gives it back to Joey, not enough on it. Winarski reads that, picks it up, brings it up the board, but Danny's waiting, passes over to Frankie, and Frankie hits Santos' foot. Jim Benning now, he starts the passing along. He gives it over to Anjanette. Anjanette looks like just to miss Joey's stick. Found Winarski's instead. Winarski not letting Joey go. Joey passing behind Frankie. Frankie will get a chance though because the shoe tips it back in. He gets his shot. Glove save by Jeff Camputaro. Looks like Jeff saw that the whole way through, and he just snagged that out of the air and said, no, thank you. So we're looking here, another change. We have the newer wingers of Lisa and Tony. Looks like we're talking a little bit of strategy here with Lisa and Joey. They're setting up here. Joey's telling them where to go as Joey steps in against Kenny Herron. What?
You missed it.
So here, Jim Benning chips into the corner, forces Lisa going where she loves to be, in that corner, forcing players to do passes like that, where Joey reads it, picks it up, hits Kenny Herron in the feet instead of Jim Benning's stick. Joey Delgado trying to find room, finds it, but doesn't find it with the ball, where Yoder tips it to the blue line. Jim Benning looks for Brophy, gets it right under her stick. Brophy hot on Kenny Herron's heels, forces it to dump it, and we're gonna get an ice. We will. So face off right back down deep. Looks like Agent Orange kind of wants a better explanation for that. So I'd like to remind everybody, this broadcast brought to you by Rooter Apparel. Rooter Apparel, the leading provider of fully customizable team uniforms and apparel. Visit Rooter Apparel for more information. If you actually look, the Skateless allies are completely outfitted in their blue jerseys that were sponsored by Rooter Apparel. Joey getting a play. Looks like ball got a little soft and squished over it. Joey going behind the net, trying to read his options. Doesn't have much to read, so he'll try to chip it to Jim instead. Does not get enough of the boards, and Jim's not running fast enough, so it goes all the way back, where Josh is forced to run for it. He's now in the corner. Ricky giving him all types of trouble. He gets away with it, gives it to Tony. Tony can't control it. It stays in. Lisa Brophy now, she's going to chase it down. Let's see what she can do with it. Looks like they're getting a little talk. Oh, good idea, bad execution, giving it to Josh Borelli. Just puts it under his stick. Danny tries to force a pass over. Ricky eats that up. Gives it over to Mike Morris. Morris takes a shot and it gets kicked wide. Ricky picks up the rebound. He takes his shot. Does not get through. Mike will fall on it and end that play there. We're at 1:42 in the first period, a very quick period. For any goaltenders, they know how hot it is, especially today being almost in the 90s, in the upper 80s today in Plainville, Connecticut. So inside of a big rink like this, it is hard to keep cool. And add 10 pounds of gear and it gets even hotter. So quick periods gets them to the bench quicker and gets them a break faster. So they're not going to be playing. Frankie forcing a play. He will pick that ball up. It's a breakaway. He's going to have a shot. And big save by Jeff Camputaro, being the rock that he has to be for Agent Orange. Brian Watch is having time, and he puts it right into the chest. Jeff Camputaro making the big saves for Agent Orange. Because he's playing that dump and chase play, you are really looking at a lot of shots. I wouldn't be surprised if he has somewhere close to 15 shots already. So here we are, face-off back in the end zone. We're saying that a lot this game. Winarski tries to chip it, get his hands on it, and he does not get it all the way through, so it goes all the way back. Mark Schumann has to set up a new play, gives it to Watchers. Watchers tips it over to Anjanette. Anjanette chasing it down, and it goes onside. Dan Sigelski will make a play, gives it back to Watrous. Watrous really quarterback of this line. He's really an offensive powerhouse. He's from teams like the Jokers of Doom and goes all the way back when Waterbury, Connecticut had a rink. Anybody who's been keeping track of roller hockey in Connecticut knows there is a lot of history in Waterbury, Connecticut hockey. And Jeanette, though, she'll give it over to the history man himself, Brian Watrous. Brian Watrous takes a shot, and it goes deflects wide by Jeff Camputaro. Dangerous shot, easy save for him. Frankie running, looks like he's running out of his own shoes, gives it to Dan Sigelski, just chips wide. No one seemed to track that one. Looks like Frankie's really trying to force these shots when he should be running a little farther. Kenny Herron, he's gonna take a long slap shot that curves wide. A little difference in a ball than a puck. A ball will hook and curve. A ball with the weight will keep it there. Shots on net from Yoder and Kenny Herron, both blocked and deflected wide, forcing Dan Sigelski to give it to Frankie. Frankie playing super deep for a winger, but here we are playing deep. Deflects by Mark Schumann in. Oop, I'm mistaken. It actually goes completely wide. What replay? Let's actually take a look right now. We're looking at one of our replays. Here we go, we got Frankie cutting wide open, and you see it here, he really has all the net to shoot at, and just Jeff keeping tall and keeping cutting down the angle does not give him the look Frankie looks like he wanted, so it just makes it an easy save for Jeff Camputaro. Here we go, cutting back. We're going deep. Looks like we're just gonna kill the clock there at 2-1. And that is the first period. And it looks like it's going to be a long game for Agent Orange if they can't figure out how to possess the ball in the offensive zone. And now we have, if you look at the Skateless Ally side, it looks like they're trying to force too much when they have the time and have the patience to really do this right. No, this is actually a big issue. So after the first period here, we have shots Allies 13, Agent Orange 8. And we're at the end of this period. It looks like the Allies are forcing through things. They're forcing plays they should not be forcing, and it looks like they're running a little too hard here. So let's see if Captain Joey Delgado tells them to settle down and play their game. Their strongest time is when they play their game. Their strongest assets is when they play their game and not force themselves to play the game Agent Orange wants them to play. So here we go. We got the second period now. Players start filing into place. So here we go, Joey and Santos here is taking the face-off. Looks to be a little bit of a tie that hit Ray Gwilicki, the referee's ankles, and it rolls into the Agent Orange zone. Agent Orange tries to force the pass, just rolled by Tony's stick, and a scary bit of a roll there for Mike Muscalco. Looks like he even noticed that by giving the post a little bit of love. And Josh Borelli tries to set it up. He finds Tony. Tony kicks it into the zone, forcing Lisa to chase it down. Offside, so Josh Borelli is going to have time to set it back up as Orange has to touch the red line in ball hockey. So here we go here. Joey here rotating through. Takes a shot, gets deflected in. Joey makes his moves, gives it over to Jim Benning. Jim Benning takes a shot, he goes high on Jeff Camputaro. And Jeff Camputaro eats that up and waits for his team to get set back up. So here we are, setting up for the next face-off, back in the end zone. Brian Watrous where he wants to be. Looks like he's going to try to win this back, and he will not, as Santos wins the face-off and blocks off beautifully. Blocks off beautifully for Yatter. Yatter deflects it down deep and now puts it right back into the zone here at 8:45 in the second period. Here we are, face off again. Yatter gets the ball again, deflects it. Looks like Brian Watrous gets a piece of that. He gets the ball down deep. He's trying to find room, fighting Winarski, and he keeps it in the corner. Brian Watrous puts it through the middle. No one got their stick there to help him, so he deflects up to Shu, and Shu stick checks Kenny Herron and puts it back down deep. Little frustrated, he wanted that going close to the blue, and it goes right to Santos' stick. It's a high chip, and it looks like Mike's gonna try to run that down, and he will not for an icing. Here we are here. 8:15. In 30 seconds, we had somewhere in the vicinity of 3 face-offs. This is the game Agent Orange has to play if they want to keep their legs, but it's going to be also a dangerous game, forcing Jeff Camputaro to keep staying this on the whole game. 13 shots in 1 period is very difficult for a very tall ask of a goalie. And you can't ask him for 3 periods. There's a wraparound shot there, and Frankie gets stuffed in the post by Jeff Camputaro. Stick check there. John DeLuca letting him know to settle down the stick work. We have here Mark Schumann. Mark Schumann deflects it over, gives it to Cegelski, who finds Frankie. Frankie running, gives it to Brian Watchers, who's rotated spots with him. Now Shu and Warski, he doesn't get any of that, so he tips that out wide. Reset here. So here it is, roll deep. Shu feeding over to Brian Watrous. Brian Watrous coming with it, deflects it straight up in the air. And he will actually force that play to go outside the zone. So Memory to Video Productions is filming today's game and all the live action. I'm here with Zach Rockman on the camera, Stephanie Lobono running the cameras, running the camera switcher and all the replays. And I am Justin Quett here. I am going to giving you all the action. So here we have Santos taking, looks like to be all of the face-offs, and rotating is Brian Watchers and Joey Delgado. Joey winning the face-off back, too hard for Jim Benning to control. So Jim Benning's got to reset the play, give it back to Joey at the blue line. Joey finding Josh. Looks like they're not going to be moving too much here. They're just trying to find that breakout pass. They almost do through Tony. Tony can't, but he lets it roll into the zone. Mike Morris here, he's making plays with it. He forces his way in. Tony carrying it. Lets it roll into Yoder. Yoder will deflect it deep. Now Borelli has the ball. Looks like he's going to maybe run it up. No, he will shoot it deep, and it disappears into the pads of Jeff Camputaro. Joey having some fun with him, playing along. And if you have sharp ears here at home, you'll hear a click in his pads that look to be soft, and that will be plastic panels under his padding that are actually called roller fly. They're padding the ball bearings where you can cut side to side, similar to ice, which only complements Jeff Camputaro's style of sliding and ice as an ice hockey goalie. Back in the action here, we have Josh Borelli having weird communication with, and it looks like Josh trying to plead his case, trying not to look bad here as he shoots that way high and out. Josh dropping his stick, having a little fun with teammate on other teams, John DeLuca. John DeLuca not letting him have it. Setting up for the faceoff here, and it's 1 to Jim Benning. Jim Benning chips it over to Tony, a little bit behind Tony, but he'll control it anyway. He'll get a shot, supposed to be on net, over the net instead. Joey Delgado runs it down, forces Kenny Herron to pick a pass over to Ricky Clemente. Ricky Clemente chips it deep. Kenny Herron, he has a run. This is where he's dangerous, right between the circles, and it looks like he is going to, oh, he's even looking for it. He tried to find Ricky Clemente. Jim Benning read that play and chips it over the line to Tony, who he's gonna have to run. He tries to find the middle, does not find Yoder instead. Yoder finds Joey. Joey gets his shot, lightly puts it into his pads for the rebound. Tony chipping away, Lisa chipping away. Somehow it stays out. Now Ricky's on the run the other way. It's a 1-on-none. He takes the shot. Big save by Mike Mascalco. Mike Mascalco making his diving blocker save. Kenny Herring taking a shot top of the circle, blocked by Josh Borelli. Kenny, looks like Mike doesn't want to let it go. He will after pleading of Josh Borelli. Josh dumps it deep, and it looks like it won't matter because no icing. I am incorrect. So it's forcing Winarski to make the play. There's Lisa forcing a big play over to center. Take the shot, shoots, and scores! Looks like we're arguing for the ice here. Won't matter because we have goal from Tony Miscalco, assisted by Lisa Brophy. Let's see that again, ladies and gentlemen. So we have the deep play here, wraps around. Winarski sees it coming. He goes, oh, I'll chip it up. Lisa Brophy goes, no way, not in my house. Chips it, sends it over to Tony. Tony blasts it home and beats Jeff in the impenetrable wall. Now 1-0 at 5:19. Kenny Herron still pleading his case for that icing. Doesn't look like they're giving him time of day. Here we go back in the face-off with Brian Watrous and Chris Santos. Tips forward. Frankie making one quick move. He still has the ball. Cannot get a shot on net if he fans wide. Big fight here with Winarski and Frankie. It's going to be for a shot on net, it looks like. Frankie's putting a little bit of his arms into it. Ray's keeping a close eye here. A little bit of stick work, and that looks like it's going to be the giveaway here. And we have a delayed call. Rieger keeps it alive. It won't matter. Winarski's going to play it here. No, he won't. There it goes. And let's see the call by Ray. We have 8 orange with a slash. That puts us on a minute power play with 4:48 to go in the second period in a 1-0 game. So if you stick around at the end of the game, we will have a 3 stars at a game. And right now, if it stays this way, it's going to be Jeff and Tony's going to be in the running. So we have a face-off here. Looks like their top line is out for a shot. Goes just wide. Top line, I was saying, for the Allies as Anjanette makes a play over to Dan Cegelski. Dan Cegelski finds Shu. Shu has all the time to take the shot. He will. It goes wide. It does not give him that favorable bounce. Jeff will eat it up, seeing all the players swarming. So here we are, back deep in the zone. I'm sounding like a broken record, but here we are. We have 4:33 left. Face-offs 1. Brian Watrous makes his play. Shot, and it's blocked by Santos. Play goes deep. They're short-handed, so they're going to be allowed to ice this ball. Here we go. Shu picking up the ball. He's starting up the play. All the wingers looking at him. He finds Watrous. Doesn't find his stick, though. Watrous has to chase this down. Watrous pulling up quick. He takes his shot. Shoot. Big save. Jeff Camputaro not seen to be shaken by that goal there. He's still playing hard, playing on his head. 15 seconds ago left in that penalty. So here we are setting back up. It goes in here. He takes his shot just wide. Dan Cegelski makes his play. And Jeanette finds Shu again. He goes for his backhanded shot and fans on it. So that looks like that's going to be the penalty as 2-1. They are now even strength. Here we go. He hits Brian Watrous. They have one quick play to make here, and it is a shot, and it'll be covered, and it'll be set back for a face-off down deep. So a little bit of a different look here from the Allies. A lot more of a shoot-first mentality than the passing we saw in the first period. And it looks like Agent Orange still can't find an answer for either one of those tactics. So you're really burning out the defenseman and Jeff, who's really trying hard to stand on their head here and make these big plays, keeping it 1-0. Here we go, chips it over. Here we go now, Ricky having a little bit of room. He's gonna take a slap shot at the blue line. It goes high and wide. That's Jim Benning. Jim Benning on the play. He hits Tony right in the feet, where he can't keep control of it. Somehow he finds the ball again. It tips by Mike. Ricky picks up the ball top of the circle. He looks to curl, he shoots. Big blocker save. And he's gonna give it back to Josh Borelli. Josh here, he's going to be looking. He's looking for that play as we have Mike here tying his shoes. And light play off the glass, not enough. Goes right back into Josh. Josh gets a little heat from Mike saying he's killing him. A little bit of a catch here with Joey and Jeff. Josh deflects it again. Shot on net. Big save by Mike Miscalco, saving Josh Borelli, the semi-pro goaltender. And there's a little bit of heat here. And let's watch this replay. Let's watch this in slow motion. Here we go, pass Fandon. Looks like he hit it more with his heel. He wanted it with his toe. Big jump with Mike Mascalco, catching it with his chest and eating it. Mike must have been hearing me when I was saying Jeff Camputaro is part of the 3 stars. Mike wants a little bit of love himself, and there's a little bit of love there. That was a big save. Here we go, Yoder making his play through the middle. Josh Borelli making a good defensive play, trying to help his buddy out, Mike Mascalco. Joey Delgado picking up at the blue line, making his move once, twice. Moving once, twice. Here we go. We have Ricky Clemente now. He's trying to find a play. He tries to lift through. Jim Benning bats it out of the air. A little bit of miscommunication with Joey and Lisa. Joey will control it instead of Lisa. Joey will lose it to Ricky Clemente, who gives it over to Winarski, who tries to give it to Mike to give it out. Josh Borelli puts his foot in the way. Josh gives it to, shoots and scores. Joey Delgado from Josh Borelli. A little bit of a makeup for what he did to Mike there, as he makes a big pass for that goal. Let's take a look at this replay. So we have here a deflection going the wrong way, giving it over to Joey Delgado. Joey at the top of the circle, taking his slap shot and beating him in the far side. Really, this is where you want to be if you're a shooter, is top of the circle. Force that goalie to come out as far as he can, but even then, you're still going to see a lot of that net. Face off 1, Kenny Herring takes a shot, it goes wide. Mike stops it, allows Danny to make a play, tries to give it to Rear, puts it under her stick. And there comes Santos in front of the net, that beautiful spot where forces Mike to kick it wide. Kenny Herring tries to give it back. Brian Watrous reads that, gives it to Frankie. Frankie, who still somehow has some legs left to keep running. He forces to give it to Brian Watrous. Brian Watrous takes a shot, he puts it in his chest and forces a cover. Wingers like Frankie, who can seem to run forever, are a nightmare to defensemen. Forcing plays that they don't want to make, forcing low percentage passes. So someone like Brian Watrous can read that play and take their shot on net. Here we go, face off again. I will say it again, inside the zone of Agent Orange, where Frankie can't keep control of it. Frankie will get another chance from Mark Schumann. He's picking his head up, trying to see what he finds. Finds Brian Watrous. Watrous in the top of the slot, cuts it into the wrist pad of the glove of Jeff Camputaro. So that deflects into the netting and puts it right back where it was 10 seconds ago. We're at 1:22 in the second period, a 2-0 game here. Allies look to be really controlling this game, but 2 goals is a dangerous lead if you're playing ball hockey. Face-off tied, somehow makes it to Mark Schumann through the wingers. Here we go, we have Yoder and Anjanette. Anjanette deflects it deep, deflects it back, to Sigelski. Another fan by Mark Schumann. It looks like he's trying to do a little bit too much instead of trying to do the simple thing. Schumann finding Danny. Danny finding Frankie. Frankie still running. I don't think he stopped running since the first period. Does not get enough on his shot and forces it to go into Jeff's glove, where Jeff will cover it with 53.3 to go. Once again here at Plainville Indoor Sports Arena. We're going to set up again. Frankie deflects it, forces a play through the run, and Chu cannot run fast enough. He will go all the way back, and he will set up a play. Try to find Rieger. He finds a penalty box instead, which is a weird place to put the ball if you ask me. But hey, I'm not playing the game today. Face off. A little unusual to be down deep in the Ally zone. We're going to see if they could capitalize here with 40.8 seconds. If they could capitalize here and force a play, they could possibly walk in with a 1-goal game going into the third. Top of the circle face-off. Goes straight up. Ricky Clemente finds it first. He boxes out Anjanette and tries to flip it to Kenny. Kenny can't control something at his hip. Mark Schumann gives it up to Frankie. Frankie dumps it deep. Makes Anjanette run for a change. Yoder goes around the Frankie side. Yoder stops, tries to look for a side. Lasky flip it straight up and over, and rolls it over to Mike. What? So here we have a face-off down deep. What's the problem? What? Here what? Oh yeah, it's stuff. Don't worry about it. Face off down deep, 13.8. Still a dangerous time. Needs to be possession here. Still no possession. Ball rolls into the corner. Still a dangerous place. We have Skateless here looking for a play. Kenny picks a big swipe at it. Doesn't get enough of it. Mark's going to turn into the corner here and allow the horn to blow, and that will end our second period here. End our second period, 2-0 Skateless Allies. Once again, we are presented by Wooter Apparel, empowering teams and athletes across the world with quality uniforms, unbeatable prices. Please visit wooterapparel.com for more information. I can tell you from firsthand experience, this is quality material and quality jerseys. I've traveled with them. They look good. They always look good, and they're not too hot. So roller hockey people, deck hockey people, if anybody knows that hot jerseys are the hardest thing to deal with. They're hot. As soon as they get wet and sweaty, they get hard to play with. These stay light, they stay airy, they stay cool. They're awesome. Please check out wooterapparel.com. A little bit of different look here from the Allies. A lot more of a run and gun mentality, trying to offset them and run them into the ground, it seems like, and tire them out for this third period. Agent Orange responding with, they are tired. They are tired. They don't want to keep running. They don't want to keep crashing these plays. So they're forced here to take any opportunity they can find, and they're not finding many, they're not finding good ones. Jeff here really having to stand on his head, and he is. Just rolls by Lisa Brophy 6. Kenny Herron in a dangerous spot. He takes his slap shot, eaten up, but it's deflected back out. Mike Mascalco makes a big save there. Jim Benning tries to flip it, finds Tony. Tony now is going to run with it. Let's see, he does. He gets his off-angle shot and scores! Beautiful pass by Jim Benning and a better shot by Tony Mascalco. Tony Mascalco there just finds the inside blocker of Jeff Camputaro. Even he looks shocked that it went through. Seemed like he got a piece of it, but not enough of it. 3-goal lead really gives them the breathing room that they've been dying for this whole game. And now this really puts Agent Orange on their heels. Back again here for the face-off. We have Ricky Clemente forcing Josh Borelli. Josh Borelli tries to be fancy. He does not be fancy. He actually forces Ricky to give it to Santos. Ricky gets the ball back again, takes a shot just wide, looking for that top corner. Mike Mascalco being on his knees, giving away that top corner, but somehow, like a frog, launching in the air to make some of these saves. Joey now setting up with Josh Borelli. Josh trying to find a play. Runs out of time, puts it back through the middle. Another big save. If we want to look at that replay, it's very similar. Just like our second period. Josh here, exasperated, just wants to hide behind that net. Unfortunately, the netting is porous and we can absolutely see him. Third period, 9:14, 3-0. Here we go, face-off, one in the corner. Jim Benning's gonna chase in Mike. Jim Benning eats that in his shins and lets that deflect out of play. Another face-off down deep. This is really a critical time for Agent Orange to get a goal here. This is gonna be a momentum swing if they can get a goal and a real confidence boost for their offensive line. So this face-off is critical. That being critical, Captain Joey Delgado's facing across Santos. Santos wins the face-off to Yoder. Yoder not given enough time by Tony chasing him. Lisa Brophy tying up, deflects over to Yoder. Lisa Brophy still running, just deflects it out, gives a beautiful shot to Joey Delgado. Joey gives it to Tony. Oh, he just passes behind him. Tony can't keep it in. Josh will though. And Josh gives it to Lisa, who gives it back to Joey. Joey trying to find a pass, finds Josh instead. Josh playing catch with Joey, gives it back. Joey rotating in, now the last man back, so he's got to be careful here. We have 4 allies down deep. Gives it to Brophy in her favorite spot, the corner, where she can work her magic. Brophy taking a big play. And Jim Benning cannot handle it. Mike has a play one-on-one with Watchers. Watchers doesn't seem too worried. He'll poke it away. Ricky Clemente, he'll take a big slap shot, hits Mike right in the chest. Another shot goes wide. Josh will read it. Now it's a 2-on-2. Josh come with speed on Winarski. Big toe drag. Second move, and it is blockered away by Jeff Camputaro. Josh trying to stuff it home. Jeff reads that like a novel and gets an easy save and eats it up. Even though it's a 3-0 game here, we really have to look at the way Jeff Camputaro's been playing. He's been making big save after big save after big save. And really, he's been keeping this alive for his team. So here we go. We have Brian Watrous facing off against Santos. Santos looks like, I think, took all the face-offs. If my statisticians could leave their comments below. Ball rolls through Frankie. Shu gets a piece of it, not enough. Mike walks in with it. Danny fights him hard, and he puts that in the corner. Rieger's got to chase down Santos, puts the stick up, and gives Danny a chance to get it, where he will. Gives to Brian. Brian finds Frankie. Frankie fans on the ball. Frankie doing everything right except keeping control of that ball. He finds the Brian, who can't keep control of that ball, trying to find a play. Finds Rieger and Jeanette. And Jeanette takes 2 shots at it, eaten by Yoder. Second one deflects over to Frankie and almost hits us with all of our expensive equipment. Both me and the cameraman sweat a little as the ball rolls back into play. Once again, I'd like to remind everybody, we're in the high 80s here. If I was going to check my weather app, my weather app will absolutely tell me we are in... Ooh, actually, we dropped a little bit. We're in 75. Don't tell the goalies that. They won't know the difference. It is super hot out here. It is hot and humid, and in all that gear, it is difficult. Here we have Anjanette. Tries to throw it in the middle. No one there to give her a hand. Frankie seemed to look at it a little bit. Frankie, now he'll get the ball back. He sends it across with Anjanette. Anjanette gets 2 beautiful shots, matched by 2 beautiful saves by Jeff Camputaro. Anjanette fights hard and makes Yoder dump it deep. Gives it to Sigelski. Sigelski tries to give it to Brian Watrous. Watrous just misses wide. Sigelski gives him an option, takes a shot, doesn't get enough of it. And it looks like Frankie's going to give it back to Watrous. Watrous quarterbacking his play. Gives it to Rieger. Anjanette, excuse me. Anjanette doesn't get enough of it. Yoder deflects it up. Shu deflects it back. We're playing a little bit of a game of ping pong here. Brian Watrous guys shoots it over to Frankie. Big save, rebound, goal. Frankie finally getting the vindication from running for what seems to, well, actually is 26 minutes. Here's the replay here. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Big play by Anjanette keeping the ball in. Anjanette finds Brian Watrous, who finds Frankie. Frankie takes 2 shots, but does find the back of the net. Another 2 big saves, and another 2 before that play. So really, we're looking at Jeff standing on his head and just not getting the help. It's mostly because it's hot and they don't have a sub. And we have the Skateless allies who look to have 2 full lines. It is hard to compete against a team that has 2 full lines. And then we have a quick timeout here. It's going to be a 30-second timeout in a 4-0 game here. A little bit of strategy talk, but mostly it's Agent Orange just trying to catch their breath. We have Joey Delgado here talking with his team, talking what he wants. A little bit of laughing, a little bit of fun. They earned a laugh. They earned a fun. They got the lead here to make that happen. So here we are with the 9 seconds left. We're going to see how they finish this game out with 6:31 to go in the game. Please stay tuned. We have 3 stars at a game, and right now it is going to be a tough couple people. I have a couple people in mind. You have to stay to the end of the broadcast. I'm going to give you color jerseys and numbers going through the 3 stars at a game. Find those people. Just find their numbers in the color of their jersey. Here we are, face-off 1 to Yoder. Yoder deflects to Mike. Mike doesn't get enough of it. He puts it right back in for Tony. Tony's still running, doesn't get any of it. Just deflects in by Joey Delgado. Small stature, still just had enough arm to reach for it. Big save. Mike looking for it. Finds it in the corner with Jim Benning. Josh Borelli now walks up. He's having a lot of room here. He takes a wide shot. Jeff finds that as an easy save. He'll eat that up and cover that in. win here. Santos not taking a draw. Kenny Herron here. Looks like he's going to chip it all the way down deep. They're going to hope it curls into the net. It will not. We have an icing. Here we have here setting back up. A little bit of a different look here. Kenny Herron, Joey Delgado. Kenny's going to try to win it back. We're looking for the same thing. And it's a tie, but Kenny gets the second swat at it. Gives it to Santos. Joey gets his hand on it. He gets it, forced it over to Jim Benning. Jim Benning takes a shot. Deflected by Mike, where it'll go into the rafters here. If you look up in our rink, we have something a little bit different than a lot of rinks, and they're these big rafters. It's a factory, so it keeps the ball low and it keeps it exciting for us here. But anytime that ball deflects up, chances are it will hit one of these beams. Here we go here. Third period, 5:41. Zach Rockman on the camera, Stephanie running the replays and the switcher. And I'm Justin Quett here running the play-by-play where Frankie gets a little bit of a piece of it. He'll get a shot on that, just goes wide. He tries to put it back. He takes a big stick smack there. It makes a lot of noise. Ref doesn't think of the slash, so play will continue. Schumann somehow doesn't hit the pipes. Makes a liar out of me. He'll send it up and over for an icing. Just for full disclosure, I do play for the Skateless Allies, so I do know the tendencies of these teams, of this team, and I've played against Agent Orange for somewhat close to 3 years now. This game does not tell you how good Agent Orange is. Agent Orange is a hard competitor. The only thing that's hurting them is they're missing bodies. If I want to be specific, they're missing names like Steve DeMuro, Aaron Duncan, Dave Fostervold, Chrissy Rochette. Those big names there really hurt missing. Right there, Chrissy has 3 goals, and then we have 2 points from Steve. But really, those guys bring the experience and to keep them calm in times of pressure. So not having those players do hurt the team and do show a different look of this team that does not accurately represent the way they play. We have Dan Sigelski now. He's going to set up this play with 4:55 to go. Gives it to Shu. Shu has time to make the play. Gives it to Dan. Dan finds Frankie. Frankie, still running, ladies and gentlemen. Finds a way to find a second gear. Makes a move. Gets stuffed by Jeff Camputaro. Big save. And given right back. Winarski gives it right back and forces Frankie to put it home on a spinorama play. So that puts it up 5-0 and really puts a damper on this Agent Orange team, who's already tired and is just getting outrun by wingers like Frankie and Anjanette. It is really hard to match speed like that today. So here we go. Winarski gives it to Ricky Clement. Ricky chips it deep. Here we go here. Frankie gives it to Anjanette. Anjanette has time, shoots, finds the knees of Santos, gives it back to Frankie. Frankie almost tips that in, tips it to Brian Watchers instead. Frankie gets another goal, and that's your hat trick. And that's a natural hat trick, ladies and gentlemen, which means that is 3 goals in 1 period. We'll watch this one on the replay. Let's take a look at it. Here we go, Watchers here. He looks like he's taking control. He sees Frankie. Frankie sees him, and it's just one quick stick handle open up Jeff, and Jeff has to bite on that play, has to give Frankie the respect, and he has no chance on that one. Hold this. 4:12 to go in the 3rd period. Once again, stay tuned. I have my 3 stars of the game. I have them all chosen. So unless something big happens here, it makes me erase my pen marks, I guess we're going to have these 3 players. Stay tuned to find out who. Mike takes a big play and just rolls under Josh's stick. Josh plus the icing. Ray goes, no way. You had a chance to play that. It's not my fault. You fanned. Here we go. We have Jim Benning. Jim Benning taking his time, looking at his options. Finds Joey, who is right next to him. Joey making the play, deflects it over. Josh gives it to Tony. Tony running for it now. Tony gives it to Lisa. Lisa deflects it just wide, gives it to 21-yarder, who gives it to Mike, who puts it back deep. Play's gonna stay deep here. We have Jim Benning. Jim Benning just doesn't get Lisa. Just put a little bit too much mustard on it, where Winarski now picks it up. Tries to put it deep. He will, but offside. Santos is offsides, forcing a play. Joey takes a long shot. It just goes into the corner. And they look tired. They're slowing down. Winarski tries to chip it. We have a delayed hand pass. Jim wants to keep the game running. He takes a poke at it. We have here Joey Delgado. Joey Delgado gives it to Josh. Josh, once again, hangs Mike out to dry and puts it right into his face. Josh calling off. That's his third pass through the middle that gets picked off. Josh, as a high-level goalie, has to be frustrated with himself as he sits there and gives Joey a little bit of fun heat, and Joey laughing at him the whole way through. So here we go. Face-off down, deep in the zone. Another risky pass, puts it deep. Kenny Herring wins it over to Winarski. Winarski's going to have a little bit of time, but Frankie's still running, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2:38, and this kid hasn't run out of gas. So Brian Watrous, deep center. He picks it up, finds Frankie. Frankie now just going to have the room. They're walking in. He makes this a big save by Jeff Camputaro. Defense walks back, but Jeff stands tall. Brian Watrous now has the room. He takes the shot with all the time. Looks like we have a potential customer here. He's looking for the video. If you're interested in buying the video, please go to memorytovideo.com. You can order our services. We'll come and film your games anywhere, anytime. Let us know. We want to film your games. Memorytovideo.com. 1:44 left. Winarski here. He takes a shot. He puts it up and deep, and Skateless gets a piece of that. So here we go here. Skateless, he chips it over. Gives it to Mark. Mark makes a play. Once again, Frankie just has all the time in the world. He shoots wide. He doesn't want anything. Number three we have for Agent Orange, number 33, Jeff Camputaro. Jeff Camputaro played a hell of a game. You wouldn't know by the way the score shows, but he made big saves after big saves after big saves. So number 2, because I have a soft spot for goalies, is gonna be number 19, the goalie for the Skateless Allies. He was number 2. He made big plays when he had to. And number 1, the guy with 5 goals who still he's going to run all the way home, is Frankie Chiotti. Frankie Chiotti, 5 goals, all the running, and all he wants to do is just keep running. He's rewarded with those goals today. So once again, I would like to thank my crew, Zach Rockman, and I'll repeat that. I would like to thank my crew, Zach Rockman, Stephanie Del Bono. I am Justin Coet making the call, and that's going to be the end of us today. Thank you. Signing off. Have a good night, everybody.